The future pulling us forward, and a tractor point in the future, an ever-increasing ball of gravity, multiple paths, and at the end of each of these paths, a new core of the future forming itself, accreting matter around it. All the intentions of the world trying to shape a new future, and we battling with all of these different forces, or synergizing with all these different forces to select which is going to be our individual and collective future. Throwing our intention from the present like an arrow, aiming for an invisible target. With time, our arrow becoming sharper and sharper, piercing deeper and deeper into space-time until we can hit the future we want.
A distant point, far away, pulling me towards it, asking me, what is it that I want to do? What is it that I want? I do not know the answer, yet I pretend that I do. So I try to force my will, my agency, and I try to play a character that I know I'm not prepared for. So I seek many ways, many paths to fill that character. All these little games that I learned for myself, all these little ordeals I put myself through, all so that I can be worthy of that pull. Why? Why do I do it? Why?
The future is calling. The future is calling a great question to which we do not know the answer. To try and find some order inside of the chaos, we try and force an answer onto the future. We try to find a role, we try to find a mask that we can play inside of that will interact with the world in a way that will generate some kind of predictability, some kind of future that we can touch, that is tangible. And yet, the future we need is not in the future, it is in the present. Fully paid attention to the present gives birth to the future. We must become midwives to the future inside of the present moment.
But why is it my burden to bear? Man on the street does not seem to care. So then why is it my burden to bear? Why cannot I let go of this calling and choose to be right now in this moment? Not asking of it anything, not seeking of it anything, not pushing, not pulling, but just being. Why is it that I need to worry about something that I have no control over? Because I barely understand what has happened and what is currently happening. So why? Am I reaching out with my mind? Am I reaching out with my heart? What is responding to this call? Which part of me? Do I even know? I don't. So why do I think, is the mask on my face? Is the mask on my heart? Where is it? What is it? I do not understand. For that, I first
A fully integrated response to the call. Something is making the call. The call is a cry. It's a scream of pain. Is being in pain? Has being lost its unity in a splintered humanity? Is humanity the symptom of the splintering of consciousness and needs to find its way back to the unity? Is this the why? Is this the call to bring all humans back into unity, to bring all of consciousness back into unity through the medium of the integrated human being?
Oh unity, oh unity, you are so lonely. Oh unity, you are so lonely. If you are two, you are in opposition. Only if you are in three are you actually in relation. This is something I learned recently. Only if you are in three are you actually in relation. So is it really unity that I require, that I seek, that I call out for, or is it really just connection? Is it connection that I really am looking for? What is unity if it is lonely, if all of us were to be one? Where is the fun in that? How am I able to be okay with you being different and yet in that diversity heralding a unity? How do I see unity? I see it in multiplicity, the capacity to be different. There I see that the power of unity lies in the power of connection.
Unity connected to duality, duality connected to unity, forming the Trinity, not only one, but also two, and thus three. Lila, playing with duality, knowing that behind all the masks, behind the hide and seek, there is the unity. Practicing unity and practicing duality, returning to the oneness when necessary, seeing the difference and embracing it when necessary. The ecology of practices of unity and duality, which allow us to generate a future where these opposites coincide side by side.
Lila. When the singular appears differently to each of the different parts of the whole. Leela, where the individual or the singular appears differently to each of the different parts of the whole. Interesting, don't you think? For it suits and it changes and it molds and it melds to suit each one of us, to each one of us different from each other. We reconcile what we see as that which allows us to be who we are and to return to what? That which we already are or was first. I do not understand. It makes no sense to me because somewhere there is a pull and a push at the same time, and in that I don't know which way to go, so I realize maybe just fall apart.
Pushed and pulled by the void. The void pushing us forward from whence we came and pulling us to where we must go, back to the void. The void inside of everyone, something which makes us all the same. Different shapes of the void within everyone, giving different forms to our consciousness, to our needs, to our wills, to our desires. What part of us needs to be filled? The interconnection of people with opposing voids, void meeting void, complementing each other, the void pulling us into the future.
In order for void to be void, there needs to exist contrast. It is contrast that I truly, truly, truly admire. This bag of meat and bones, its capacity to direct and wield consciousness, is all because of that great divine power, which is contrast. If it not were for contrast, I would never be able to know the difference between that which I call light and that which I call dark. To me, if there is a God, to me, if there is a source, it is one that is capable of contrast. Because anything that is individual does not allow me to experience myself. So for me to experience myself, the only thing that allows it is contrast. So if there's a God that I need to worship,